The message from the angels to you says, discover your spiritual legacy. My beloved, in the depths of your being there is a spiritual legacy, a unique and significant inheritance. Because every soul carries that legacy. You are much more than a human being, you are a being blessed with a spiritual legacy that connects you with all divine wisdom. Beyond the experiences you are living in this moment, there is a deeper connection to something greater, a connection to the divine. For you are an expression of divinity itself. In this special message that comes with light directly to your being, you must pay attention and open both your mind and your heart to absorb and find the real essence that dwells in you and achieve changes in your life. That is why, staying until the end, you will discover why this message was really for you and how much you needed it. Also take advantage of the final advice to take your first big step. Therefore, within you is that spiritual legacy, that sacred inheritance that extends throughout your entire life, throughout all lives. Because your past lives are also very much related to this spiritual legacy. Therefore, to discover your spiritual legacy, you must also explore the aspects of your existence beyond this life. Because each and every one of the lives you lived left an imprint on your soul, they left wisdom and learning that continue to accompany you along your spiritual path. And the fact is that all these previous experiences have meant many experiences. Before this life, you had already experienced love, you had overcome obstacles, you had learned many lessons. And all that learning has also influenced you to be who you are today. Even if you don't remember it, all that experience is still part of you. Therefore, in this life you will not find the lessons you learned in past lives. But you will find the lessons you have not yet learned. In the sacred records, all this information is recorded. For in the universe everything is perfectly ordered and recorded. Thus, in these records is found all the information of the past life of the souls. That is, nothing is in vain, everything is recorded. Time is only one in the universe, and, therefore, everything is related and connected to each other. To discover your spiritual legacy, you have to connect with all those parts of you that you cannot see, with all those things that you cannot remember. And for that you only have to connect with your being, with your higher self. You have to connect with the divine wisdom, because as you connect with the divinity within you, you will understand the why of your past lives. You will embark on a path of personal and spiritual growth and discovery. You must know and honor that spiritual legacy, that divine inheritance. For when you do, you will find many explanations. You will find the meaning and purpose of all things. To discover your spiritual legacy, the first step is always to recognize the divinity in you. It is important that you recognize that despite the differences you may have with all the creatures of the universe, there is something that unites you all, and that is the divine presence. You have within you a sacred flame that comes from the source of creation of everything. Therefore, when you recognize the divine presence in you, you immediately open yourself to receive divine wisdom. You should also be open to receiving information about your past lives. Because while it is true that what matters right now is the present, you must also take the past into account to avoid making the same mistakes. Knowing who you were will help you understand who you are today. Because your past lives left a mark on your soul, and all that information is reflected in who you are today. And when you understand that you are one with divinity and that your existence goes far beyond this life, you must honor your existence. You must honor the divinity that lives in you. You must honor your gifts and talents, everything you are. Because your soul carries with it a spiritual heritage that you may not have known about, but that significantly influences your life and your spiritual development. Today, I want to enlighten you to help you unlock that knowledge, to provide you with valuable information. You know that all human beings are unique, that no matter how similar they are, absolutely all are different from each other, and each one has walked their own path, has lived different experiences, and has a different level of personal and spiritual growth. Even people who experience the same situations interpret and process them differently. This occurs, for example, in two brothers from the same family, who have had the same education and the same experiences in their childhood, but nevertheless end up being completely different people. Therefore, this shows that the experiences and circumstances around you do not determine who you are, but there is something within you that determines it, your divine seed, your essence, and your own spiritual nature. However, despite all the differences that exist between each individual that inhabits the earth and each being of light that inhabits the universe, they all form one. Everything is a perfect unit that can be broken down and dismembered into small parts. But all reality is a single reality in itself. Now and before we continue, I invite you to subscribe and share our channel. Your support helps us to create more valuable content for you. All existence has a circular shape that ascends in a spiral. You have to understand that your life and your existence is not a straight line with a very marked beginning and end, but rather it is shaped like a spiral that ascends, and that your existence is much older than this human life that you are going through at this moment. No matter how many times you have gone through a human experience, how many bodies have inhabited your soul, your essence was always there and always kept the divine flame burning within it. Your spirit carries the divine presence within it and takes it with it wherever it goes. You must know that no matter the mistakes you have made, the bad decisions you have made, your union with the source of eternal creation can never be broken because you belong to it. Sometimes you may have felt sorry or sad because you felt out of place, because you didn't feel like you belonged to any group, anywhere. This is something very common among human beings, but it is also a sign of awakening consciousness. Because when you start to feel like you don't belong to anything or anyone, you start to realize that in reality you belong to everything. You belong to the universe, and the universe belongs to you. Each and every one of the divine creations belongs to themselves, because within themselves they house the divine presence. You do not have to look, therefore, for a place to fit outside of yourself, but you have to fit within yourself, because everything you are is found there. The wonders of the universe surround you at every moment, but only souls who are willing to see the world from their spiritual nature are aware of it and the power of the laws of the universe. Within your being is housed your sacred seed, your divine wisdom and your spiritual memory. Becoming aware of these elements will be of vital importance to build your path without obstacles, without changes in direction, and without moving away from your purposes. Your soul has come a long way to get closer to the spiritual awakening that you are experiencing, and you should know that when you acquire a certain level of consciousness, the elevation that occurs in you will no longer be so slow, but will begin an accelerated pace of growth. Probably at this point in your spiritual growth you are becoming aware that spiritual awakening is not so much about achieving new knowledge as it is about remembering it. Your spiritual life is complex, long, and wonderful, but your human nature sometimes makes you forget it. Just as there are days when you don't easily remember what you did the day before, or what you did that morning, your human nature can make you feel numb and not remember the truth of your existence, the lives you lived before, or the lessons you've already learned. However, you have made an effort and important work, and little by little you are discovering that through your mind you can create and project what you want. The power of manifestation is within you, but have you ever wondered why you have that power? The answer, as always my beloved, is within you. You know that you are a divine creation and that the creative source made you in its image and likeness. This means that part of that creative source is within you, that energetic flow poured into your being, and, therefore, you are a carrier of it. In this way, just as God has the eternal power of creation, you have part of that power because you are His child, because He put something of Himself in you. You have all these powers because it is in your essence and in your nature. That is your divine seed, the seed of God in you. You have to be the place where that seed grows, develops, and becomes a leafy tree. The seed will always be inside you, but for it to develop, just like a seed in the earth, it needs certain elements and care. The truth is that the needs of a seed on earth are not very different from the needs of your divine seed. You will need heat, light, water, and nutrients. You will need calm and tranquility, and you have all of this at your disposal to develop correctly. Now think, my beloved, if you have the power of creation, what prevents you from developing it? Maybe fear or your insecurity makes you stay still and stagnant, but you have overcome many barriers in your life and you can overcome this one too. You simply have to stay focused on your essence, on your spiritual development. Be aware that you carry with you a spiritual inheritance from past lives, of your transit through the universe, that your existence ascends in a spiral because its destiny is to reach a higher plane. If you accept my company and my support, I will help you ascend that spiral. I will help you follow the path you should follow, the one that your spirit tells you. Probably, at this point in your spiritual development, you are understanding that the world you perceived before was not the real world, that it was a small portion of reality, and that everything is much grander and all the elements are perfectly interconnected. You no longer see everything in an extreme way. Now you understand that the universe is dyed with beautiful colors and that all of them vibrate in harmony, forming a perfect rainbow. Your level of consciousness will also allow you to understand that there are things that you may not know, and that you are not ignorant for not knowing something. On the contrary, you are very wise for recognizing your ignorance and preparing to know the truth. Your spiritual legacy allows you to remember and know things that you have not expressly experienced in this life. It allows you to connect with your entire reality and your entire existence. Therefore, to acquire the knowledge that you need at this moment in your life, you have to stay connected with your being. You have to stay aligned with your spiritual nature, because this will be what makes you ascend in the spiral, what allows you to tune in with the pure energies of the universe. Now I ask you, are you willing to tune your mind to the melody of success and allow prosperity to flow to you? Today, I have left in the description a powerful tool that will help you and bring you closer to your happiness, peace, and tranquility. I invite you to get to know it. Be proactive and open the doors to a future where success and prosperity are your daily reality. Do not underestimate the power of now. The opportunity you have today to change your life will never present itself in the same way again. Act today, go for the description and create the tomorrow you deserve. Blessings forever.